I'm making my first ever full feature movie, and welcome to behind the scenes. I have not yet made the movie, so I'm taking you through the entire process of basically making a movie. And today we're going to be talking about coming up with an idea of a movie and trying to develop it. So for this movie that I'm making, I came up with the idea back in 2020 during COVID time. It was peak COVID time. I was bored. I was chatting with a few guys, a few friends and like another 15 strangers. And during that interaction, that's where I came up with the idea of this movie that I want to shoot without giving too much away because, I want you at the end of the day to go watch it once it's out. The most important part of making any movie or making any video is usually the script, because the script is what is going to keep people watching. That is what is going to make your story basically appealing for, people to appreciate it. And unfortunately, the only way for you to get any validation basically for your script is once you put it out, how people are going to react to it. Therefore, in the moment when you just have your idea, it's technically useless. You are the only person that thinks that idea is really good. For me, writing the title is the first most important step. I've watched a few videos on how people come up with ideas, guys like Mr. Beast and all these other big guys who make like a lot of videos, and the first thing they always say is come up with a title and then come up with a thumbnail. But again, this is not really like a YouTube video. So what I will show you is a completely different script for a completely different movie that I'm going to be developing at some point, depending with the success or failures of this one that I'm going to be shooting. And the first thing that I came up with is the title, which is called Night Runner. Now, this movie is going to be very specific again to Kenya, but again in a very specific region in Kenya. I played around between whether I want it to be a thriller movie or if I want it to be a horror, like, just a mix, or whether I want it to be an almost real life depiction of, the kind of issues that come up with the whole idea of a night runner. So a night runner is basically a person who runs around at night, naked, throwing things, at people's roofs, things like that. It's a totally, I'd say, bizarre culture in, some specific regions in Kenya. I don't know if it happens also in other parts of Africa, but yeah. So that's basically the topic. And, so I've been trying to develop this script. So what I'll do is just write it on pen and paper, and I will write what I think the flow of the movie is going to be like. So if I just quickly check the script that I've already written, I can see I wrote first family in town, then there's a father who has kids and they've never gone back, like home, back to their village for like a long time. And, now someone has passed away in that village and they have to travel back there. And, now that's where the build up starts in, where we need now to know why did, the father always avoid going back up country or, back to the village, what really happened. That's when we start learning about this whole night runner thing and how he was maybe running away from the family because it was causing him maybe, trauma or, all these things that can happen, which, you can say are bad things that, think about it if maybe you're young and you see a man running naked, throwing things on a roof. I guess it can be a bit traumatic. So yeah, that's how I'm going to be building up that movie. And so what I'll do is I will write, just the outline or the overview or the key important things that I think are important in that movie. And then I will just leave it for a week, even a month. I mean, I wrote this maybe 2 months ago, just the plot line, and I've just left it because when it comes to now writing the actual script, I usually prefer doing it in one go. So the movie that I'm making right now, I wrote the entire script, I think, in 2 days. I did the first 50 pages in one day and then the remaining 50 pages in day two. And that's probably what I will also do for this case. I will try to find a day when I know I have zero disturbance, zero distraction, nothing, and I know I can sit in a place very quiet or maybe with music and just bash on and write the entire thing. And I mean, yeah, that's basically how I write a script. I'm not saying I'm an expert or a professional or any of that. I'm just saying, this is again just a behind the scenes of my process or my creative process in making of this movie. And that's it. There's nothing much in regards to this topic. So maybe next video, what I'll talk about is the script writing, the tools I use for writing the script, and just the basic formatting and all that, which the tool that I use is very good. So yeah, be on the lookout for that. And also after that, maybe I'll talk about now how to validate your script idea And for this case, I try to use ChatGPT, Gemini, those are AI tools. And again, I'm not using AI to rewrite the script like at all. I don't care about that. All I care about with AI is things like formatting, things like, making sure there's consistency in the movie plot, and, just general feedback. That's how I look at it, but not changing the entire script. And also, I used one other tool where there was a stranger who also helped me to kind of build up on the script. Because again, the issue with your friends and family is they're biased, and it's not out of badness. They know you, therefore, whether they know it or not, they will be biased on how they give you feedback. They don't want to hurt your feelings. Therefore, I feel like using strangers is basically the best way to validate an idea, because they don't know you, they really don't care about you. Therefore, they'll just give you as it is. They'll read the script and then they'll tell you like, yeah, I liked it, or nah, I didn't like it. And yeah, you can do whatever you want with that information. So I'll maybe talk about the tools that I've used so far to try and validate the movie idea so far. And yeah, that's it. So see you in the next episode.